What's happening, people? We are back inside the building. Wow. What a long time it has been. I need to make sure I still know how to do all this live stuff. Well, here we go. We're live once again. Do send us a signal if you can hear us, if we are sounding clear, and all that good stuff. I'm very excited to be back doing Requested Live. It's been literally over, I think, over 6 months since we last did this. I think when we last did this, we were approaching maybe 25k subscribers. We're now sat on approaching 65, which is absolutely crazy to actually break it down. So big up each and every one of you for getting involved. There's loads of people getting involved in the chat from nice and early. As always, do make sure you are getting your requests in on the right-hand side of the page. And of course, just getting involved with the stream in as many ways as you can. If you are new to the stream, this is Requested Live, a show that we used to run here on the channel on a regular basis. When I was pretty much doing everything from home, when I was working on radio from home, and then I ended up going back into the studio, and I just found I didn't really have time to do it anymore. But I thought, as it's Christmas, I've got a bit of time off, and the year is drawing towards a close. I'm very excited to actually bring back another edition of this show. So the way it works, essentially, if you haven't already, the odds are you may get your request missed, but essentially over the last 24 hours, people have been putting requests into the chat on the right-hand side of the page. For some reason, every few hours, the chat decides to kind of reset, but I have been checking it every hour or so, and I have got every single request that has been put in already written down. So I'm very excited to be getting through loads of stuff. We're going to probably get for about 8 or 9 or 10 today. We've got some questions to get into as well, which I'm going to be letting you know. We're going to be obviously chopping this up afterwards into different episodes that we can part up as cubcasts and sort of live stream rips and things like that. But there we go. Guys, welcome back. How are we all doing? How is everyone's Christmas looking? How have things been? Obviously, it's been a long time since we have actually streamed live, and I'm excited to see how many of you are already getting back. I'm loving the fact I'm already recognizing a ton of the faces that are regulars on these live streams back in either day. Again, a massive shout out to everyone who's already put requests in. Ckay, Fuego, out to man like PMC as well, Great Adams, IC, Phoenix, of course, big up Just Vibes as well, all my reaction gang, Ateka getting involved as well, Faith, Banks, Dominic Andrews as well, all of the regulars back inside the building, things we absolutely love to see. Out to Emmanuel as well, out to Faith in the chat, out to Hot Spatula, out to Deadly Lord as well, my guy, good to see you. Out to Oliapo, out to Tiger, out to everyone getting involved. It's so good to see you all back inside the building. And out to Chizanga as well, just seeing everyone getting involved. If you are involved in the chat, do make sure you are getting involved by letting us know how you're doing, where you're listening in from. As always, I'm keen to hear where the sort of global fan base of this channel is. And yeah, I'm very excited. Apologies if I have to kind of stop and turn my mic off at any point, so I have got a slight cold. And I'm slightly under the weather. I'm sure you may have seen in recent videos, I'm a little bit injured as well. I've got a mad football injury, so I'm not really able to walk as much, so I haven't been able to go and get the sort of medicine I need to fix the cough, so apologies if it does come out at any point. I've had a cough for the last couple of days. Essentially, me and my school friends all went out for our sort of yearly Christmas drinks, and it all just went very mad, to be honest with you, so I'm still recovering from that, if I'm being entirely honest. But yeah, it's good to see so many of you involved. Ckay Fuego in the chat, good to see you. Out to Frank in the chat as well. Out to Simeon as well, saying this Christmas looks good on you, boss. Thank you. I hope that's a compliment. Out to Faith saying Christmas is starting off pretty good. Can't wait for the main day. Yeah, so am I, to be honest. I enjoy a quiet Christmas myself. I do enjoy just being able to sit down, relax, take some time off work. I usually take the 2 weeks off over Christmas just to kind of recuperate. We're still trying to upload every day. We may not be uploading every single day over the next sort of seven days or so, but hopefully we can chop up some of these reactions and still put some content up there. But there we go. Out to Chithanga saying, thank you for reacting to Zambian music. You have showed the world our music. Well, thank you for inviting me to kind of check it out. I'm really excited to do so. Honestly, some of the support from the sort of new Zambian fans on the channel has been absolutely crazy. And there's some really cool musicians I'm really enjoying watching. I know J-Rock's actually commented on one of my videos earlier. Slap D as well. Yo Maps, two really cool artists that have reached out to me. FJ as well. And it's been really cool to kind of find a new avenue more than anything else. Especially with the more sort of modernized sounds, especially. So there we go. Right, guys, you know how it works. Dominic Andrews saying congrats on the success of the channel. Thank you for being a part of it, Dominic. I know you've been here since near the beginning when we started doing these live streams, so thank you so much for your support over the years, and everyone who is actually returning to these streams after such a long time out. Obviously, there's loads of names here I recognize. Faith, Deadly Lord, as well. Ckay Fuego, of course. It's good to see you back. Yeah, it's great to see so many of you back, to be honest with you. I've been looking forward forward to doing this. I came up with the idea last week, and then I went, you know what, I'll wait till the day before to post it. But there we go. We are going to make a start to this week's, this stream's reactions with a track that has gone pretty viral as far as I'm aware. I think it's in the top 25 on the US Afrobeats Billboard charts. Now, this is my selection. It's a track that a lot of people have been suggesting that we do check out, and it goes by the name People, and it comes to us from Libianca. Now, this one should be interesting. I'm not entirely sure what it actually is going to sound like. I don't really know, but this is a track that's doing really, really well. I'm just going to double check this is the right one on my screen, because now I'm thinking about it, it might be a different one, but I have got the Afrobeats Billboard chart saved on a shortcut, so we shall take a quick look. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I was thinking of. I've just seen it go viral out of nowhere, so it's one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, People by Libianca, yeah, it is. So, we're going to get into this one first. Really excited to see how many of you are joining the chat. Again, if you are just joining, make sure you are hitting that like button. It's the first time we've streamed in a long period of time, so obviously there's going to be a lot of new people joining who haven't necessarily done a live stream with us before. Make them feel welcome, get them involved. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm happy that Ckay Fuego's back in the building because we've got one of our moderators, which I'm always excited to check out. So, we're going to check this one out. Again, there isn't an official music video. There's literally just lyric videos out there. I'm assuming this song's gone kind of viral on TikTok or something similar. But yeah, we're going to check this one out. This is going to be the first one of the day. Libianca with People. We are on Requested Live. And I'm very excited to be back inside the building. Is that the one we do? There it is. There's the classic logo. I managed to bring it up. I nearly forgot to bring that up. But yeah, we're going to get into this one now, and yeah, it goes by the name People from Libianca. It's just a lyric video. Let's see how it's sounding. As always as well, we're only going to listen to the first 2 minutes of this tune, just to make sure we can squeeze more in. This has been quite an extended introduction, but we're only going to listen to the first 2 minutes, and we're going to break it up into 30-second chunks, just so we can get a feel for the tune, but not spend too much time on it, so we can keep checking out new ones as we go. So here we go.
From Bamandait, Libianca.
It's already got quite a UK vibe about it.
More alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I...
So immediately this, I don't know if anyone else is feeling the same way, but I'm getting some real kind of UK influence on here. Almost sounds like a kind of softened Stefflon Don, with the sort of approach that she's bringing. Again, some really cool kind of subtle, very smooth vocal flows running throughout this one. I'm loving the stripped back nature of the instrumental. Again, Dominic Andrews saying breathy vocals. It feels like a catchphrase on this channel. But again, I'm interested to see why this one has kind of blown up in the way it has done, because it doesn't really have that viral feel to me. It feels a lot more like just a general kind of sing-along. I haven't heard this tune before. I've just seen it popping up in loads of different charts. Faith saying, oh, I know this song. Deadly Lord saying UK vibe for real. Yeah, I definitely think there is a bit of that UK vibe. Sort of 2016, 2017, almost like infused Afrobeats kind of flavour on there.
Don't smoke banger. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Now did you notice me? Nobody will know the paranoia. I put a smile on my face, a facade you can never face. And if you don't know me well, you won't see how buried I am inside my grave. Inside my grave.
I quite like this.
People.
There is something very refreshing about this as an arrangement. Again, there's no sort of super kind of auto-tune going on. It doesn't feel. It's just very, very stripped back. It's almost acoustic in the way that it comes together. Out to Ckay saying, what's the name of this song? This is Libianca with People. Again, the only reason we're checking this one out is a few people have requested it in comment sections on the channel already, and it is currently sat in the top, I think it's in the top 30. I just checked on the US Afrobeats Billboard chart, so it's come out of somewhere. I haven't found a video that has more than 150k, and it came out about a month ago, but for some reason it's rapidly rising up the charts. I presume that's something to do with maybe TikTok virality or something else. If someone wants to go and check that for me, then we can confirm. But yeah, it is a popular song on TikTok from Faith. Okay, cool. That makes sense. I can understand why. It's smooth, it's catchy, it's definitely got a kind of sultry vibe about it as well. It's really cool.
People don't really know you. They don't really know you. Cause you see people. They don't really know you. They don't really know. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me?
this is cool, man. This is really, really cool. I'm loving that use of extended harmony that's going on. The fact that the first time we hear that chorus block, it isn't as choral, and then suddenly you've got this like sort of 4 or 5 vocal overdub all going on at the same time. Really, really love the way that comes together. And again, really just generally smoky backdrop. Really nice use of stripped back instrumental flavor. I'm loving the UK vibe on this. Out to Josh in the chat. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the stream. For those that don't know, Josh is technically my business partner. We run our label together. He's the one that we were on our staff drinks for the other day, which was very, very fun. Big up Josh each and every time. Absolute don. Out to Ckay Fuego saying serious vibe. Guys, as always, I need to know your thoughts on this one. Get your rankings in out of 10. It's been a long time since we've done this, but again, give us a ranking out of 10. It can be as specific as you like. It could be a 7.125. It could be a 8.3. Just let us know your thoughts in the chat on the right hand side. We're trying to keep the chat nice and lively today as an end of year special. We're going to listen to another 30 seconds or so of this. Let me know what you're ranking this out of 10. Let's go.
Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Or did you notice me? Oh, holy Father, they drive on my head. As they make you no leave me deep. Oh, holy Father, yeah. Oh, make you drive understand. Yeah, who can know that for you? Cause you see people don't really know you.
And there we go. We're going to round that one off there. I don't know if it's like if it's just me, but I'm sort of getting like Cassie-esque kind of vibes on this one. In the actual style of the vocal, the extended use of those choral blocks, the fact they're not there at the beginning and they slowly kind of emerge as the track progresses. As I said before, guys, let me know your thoughts on this one. Deadly Lord saying the vocals, I tell you, fire, natural. Alongside that, also saying 7 out of 10. Really cool to see. Faith saying I'd rate it 6, pretty mid for me. Simeone saying I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I think I'm in a similar kind of bracket. There's no kind of explosive moment, but it's just a cool tune to have on in the background more than anything else. I'm assuming that's why it's done so well in the sort of TikTok space and in that kind of world, because it is just very floaty. It does have quite like a breathy texture to it. The overall kind of a compositional value is just very floaty, and again, the vocals are quite angelic, so there we go. Very interesting stuff indeed. Dominic Andrews saying the xylophone sounding notes are an interesting addition. Also saying well-placed choral effects always get me. It's just a very good way of kind of humanizing a tune as well, more than anything else, because that idea of a choral vocal, it's something that's just so imprinted in us as humans. It's something that we've kind of had in us since we could speak. The idea of having choruses and kind of choral singing has been such a big part of us as a species. So choral vocals will always hit us in quite a cool way. Out to Emmanuel saying, well, I'm adding this to my playlist, man. We love to see that. Chizanga giving this a 7 out of 10 as well. So the sort of average we're looking at is around a 6 or 7. Pretty much the sort of range I put it in as well. There we go. Solid start, I'd say. Solid start to today's proceedings. There we go. Moving forward then, we're going to get into Ckay Fuego's suggestion. He was the first person to get involved. I did reach out to a few people and tell them to get their requests in nice and early. And his request is this one, Solar, the Bam Bam Glitch Africa performance. I really like what's going on with Glitch Africa, man. They're putting out some really, really cool content. In general, just some really kind of nice visual additions and sort of recreations of tunes a lot of the time as well. I just think it's a really refreshing thing to watch. And I think it's such a cool thing to have a platform like Glitch Africa. Again, there's the Echo Room as well, which is doing a similar thing. Seeing VOs kind of tapping into a lot of the sort of Nigerian artists specifically as well. So I'm excited to check this one out. Guys, as always, if you are enjoying the stream, let us know in the chat on the right-hand side of the page. If you haven't already as well, make sure you are hitting that like button. All of these videos are likely to get chopped up and turned into individual videos. Dominic Andrews saying no crescendo. I could listen to it periodically. 6.5 out of 10 on the previous one. Ckay Fuego saying skip to 20 seconds in. Solar is a new kid from the block and I'm rooting for him. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ckay Fuego. Again, big up Ckay always doing the moderating and stuff like that. It's always good to see, and it's always a pleasure to see so many of you joining these chats, man. I absolutely love it. I love doing these streams. I need to do them more, realistic. I need to find time to do more of them. Life's been a bit crazy for the last 8 months. That's all I'll say. But yeah, we're going to get into this one now. Solar, Bam Bam, the Glitch Africa performance. Let's get into it right about now. This one suggested by Ckay Fuego.
She's a killer, bloody sinner. She want me to feel. Cause she don't see real nika utamula. Now she gon' feel real nika utamula. Not the way true. She dey feel am, she a screamer. Yeah, she da da
Now, his vocal is really, really reminding me of someone, and I can't think who it is. There's a really sort of similar kind of texture, just the way he enunciates, the way he uses certain textures and sort of vocal performance methods. Already, there's something that I'm really, really recognizing about him, and I can't work out who it is. It's not Victony. Is it Victony? I don't think it is Victony, but there's someone else who uses a similar kind of vocal structure. It might be Boy Spice, actually. Yeah, I don't know, but this is sounding cool, man. I'm loving this sort of recreation vibe. Dominic Andrews saying the Colours platform has done a lot for Afrobeats as well. Colossal went viral on Colours. Again, I love that string of Colours sort of videos that we did. So we saw Ckay first, then we saw obviously Colossal, then we saw, I think it was Victony did one, we then saw Bodge do one, and we've seen a few other people do them since. Obviously, we've seen Tenny do one as well. Tenny's one's one of my favourites, I can't lie. IK Fuego saying it is Victony. I thought it might be, but I wasn't too sure. Victony was the name that jumped to my head first. Faith saying, I just remembered Ckay, our co-moderator. Big up Ckay, man. I know there was a name change as well in the chat, and I haven't seen since then. So hopefully she's doing okay. Alongside this, Emmanuel saying, yeah, maybe Boy Spice. IK saying Victony and Boy Spice. Yeah, it is those two. Yeah, I thought it was. Right, we're getting there. Dominic Andrews saying, who's this? He's going into my playlist. This is Solar, spelled Soulaar. This is the Glitch Africa performance of Bam Bam. Deadly Lord saying Tory Lanez. I can hear the similar vocal pattern. Interesting. Dominic Andrews saying Boy Spice. Faith saying, yeah, Tory Lanez. Okay, let's let this one grow. I really like the sort. I love the way that he's utilizing certain pockets rhythmically. That sort of dun, 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 dun. Obviously taking a little bit of a sample from Sister Nancy, a huge tune originally. And I like the fact that this is a tune that has been kind of repurposed so many times, and yet there are still artists able to kind of get something new out of it more than anything else. Deadly Lord saying, yeah, Tory Lanez, I can see the inspiration. Emmanuel saying Tory Lanez as well. I'm not a huge Tory Lanez fan, so I'm not too sure. Personally, I just don't know. But you can definitely hear Victony and Boy Spice in this one. I can definitely hear their sort of vocal patterns, and again that sort of constant switching of staccato and skippy flow patterns, just that sort of just utilizing little sort of drifts and things like that. Really, really cool to hear. I'm loving this as a live performance as well. Really nice guitar pattern going on in the background on this one as well. This is a really cool version. I need to hear the original version as well. I'll probably take some time out after this stream to actually check that out, purely because there is such a unique feel about this vocal-wise. I may have heard the original, to be honest with you. I don't think I've reacted to it, but I think I may have heard it. I may have put it on a mix or something like that. But yeah, sounding really, really clean, man. Again, I love the way Glitch Africa kind of reimagined these tunes. Out to Emmanuel saying, give me a straw and let's be sipping that drink together. I am drinking apple and blackcurrant squash at the moment. As it's not a Friday, I'm not drinking any alcoholic beverages, and I need to still recover from a couple of weeks ago. You can probably hear there's still a bit of raspiness in my voice. When me and my school friends go mad, we go mad. And I'm still recovering from a night out we had a couple of weeks ago. I've got squashies as well. Squashies are very, very yummy. But we'll give this one another 30 seconds, and yeah, we'll go from there.
And if you needed something, and if you needed something, I got you. And if you're missing something, and if you're missing something, I'll find you. And if you needed something, and if you needed something, I got you. And if you're missing something, there's I should have find for.
Yeah, this is really cool, man. I need to make more of an effort to check out Solar. Thank you, Ckay Fuego, for suggesting this one. Josh saying, lol. Yep, 100%. 100%. It was. Josh was there. It was a crazy time. He can back me up. It all went very, very. It didn't go Pete Tong, but it did go very, very mad. And it was a very long day of alcoholic consumption, to be honest with you. But there we go, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one as a live performance. We're getting in those ratings out of 10. Simeone saying Glitch Africa will make a song sweeter than the original. That's crazy. Deadly Lord saying 7.6 out of 10. A solid song. I'm in a similar kind of range. I think this is one for me where I need to have heard the original. I've just realised my cub isn't out. There he is. But yeah, I feel this is a tune that I need to hear the original version of to kind of understand. I feel, yeah, I feel you need to hear the original version to kind of understand what this one kind of is as a live version. I don't know how many of these elements are kind of going on. Emmanuel saying you're reacting from the top right question mark. Not too sure what that means. To be honest with you, if you want to re-explain, I don't know. Faith saying I'll give a 7 out of 10. I'm in a similar kind of range, man. I feel we've had such a good year. Afrobeats, in regards to the genre, the evolution of the sound, the just general direction of it, that giving anything above a 7 at this point, it needs to be top quality, and obviously it's difficult to give a live performance a 7 out of 10. But there we go. This one, a suggestion from Ckay Fuego. I definitely enjoyed this one. Simeone saying 8.2 out of 10 as well. I'm going to move on in a second, so if you haven't already, do get your ratings in on the right-hand side of the page. Again, if you are a silent listener, do get involved. We encourage everyone to get involved in the chat on the right-hand side of the page. Obviously, it's just me reacting to your suggestions on this one. I'm merely the commentator. This is all about you guys as much as anything else. Dominic Andrew saying I can see his voice gliding over a solid soundscaping similar to Soweto by Victony. I can definitely hear a similar pattern as well. There's a lot of similarities in his vocal, I want to say structure. To Victony as well. Ckay Fuego saying the live has a different approach and it sounds better in my opinion. Cindy saying 7 out of 10. Welcome, Cindy. I think that's the first message we've seen. Welcome to the chat. Emmanuel saying you're reacting to the request from the top right of the chat. Yes, we are, but for some reason with live streams, the chat seems to delete itself after, like, I think it's every sort of 4 hours prior to the actual stream going live. So what I do is basically I put the stream up and I check it out on a regular basis and make sure I'm writing everything down. So up everything before Banks, Banks' reaction is the one that's at the top of the chat as far as I can see. There are 8 other requests that have already been put in prior to that. Ckay Fuego saying you skipped 20 seconds, so you should allow 20 more seconds. I have done. Believe it or not, I'm on the ball. Don't worry, I am on the ball. And we have allowed an extra 20 seconds. So see, we're always on it. Dominic Andrew saying 8 out of 10 since his voice has potential, waiting to explode. I'd agree. I really would agree. This is someone I need to keep an eye on, man. I think we all do. That's why I love doing these streams, because I always find out about new people. But we are going to move on to the next track next, and this comes to us from PMC. For those that don't know, PMC also goes by the name Pressure T, a huge DJ. Over in Zambia, someone who I've had the pleasure of having on the channel before. I've been on his show, his daytime radio show over there as well. And again, really cool guy. We sat down and did a video together recently about Yomaps and his sort of streaming figures. It was an edition of Higher or Lower, and he sent in a suggestion basically saying play something that's in the Zambian top 5 right now. And this tune is currently #1 on their Boomplay chart, so we're going to check this one out. It comes to us from an artist called Neo. It goes by the name Bottle Pali Love. Again, official Neo Zambia. Looking forward to getting into this one. First time checking out Neo on the channel. And again, guys, let me know your thoughts on this one as we roll through. Do make sure you are getting involved in the chat on the right-hand side of the page. If you haven't already, make sure you are giving the video a like, giving it a share on socials as well if you fancy helping push the channel even further. This is just a bit of fun to kind of close off the year. And yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are as well. What's been your favourite track so far after you hear this one as well? I'm keen to hear that from you. Let's go.
Nexus Music. Man a ban heart. Situation chips. Busy on this. Nasanka popoto bali lavu. Nisi eni chape ni forewe.
So the immediate comparison point on this one for me, I'm hearing a real similarity between his vocal and Harmonize's vocal out of Tanzania. I think just their kind of structure, the way they actually maneuver their sort of scaling, the way they move up and down the frequency spectrum. I'm hearing a real similarity in both their styles. Maybe a bit of Diamond Platinums as well. As I said, I don't know whether it's Neo or Neo, but this is the first time listening. That's the first sort of point of reference that immediately jumps out to me. That sort of, again, Tanzanian sort of element in there. I don't know whether that's purposeful. I don't know whether there is a kind of typical kind of connection there. But I can definitely hear a similarity. Neo saying, no, Deadly Lord saying, Neo dancehall, I'm biased, 8 out of 10 already. At least you admit it. That's all I can say. At least you admit So yeah, Faith saying I can hear Diamond Platinums as well. Yeah, there's definitely a sort of similarity between those sort of top-end Tanzanian artists and what's going on in this one. The instrumental as well has a similar kind of I want to say syncopated bounce to a lot of the stuff that we do here. Deadly Lord saying just because of the dancehall bass instrumental, you can definitely hear some dancehall elements in there. I think that's a Zambian thing. I think there is a lot of dancehall influence in a lot of the Zambian artistry going on at the moment, especially someone like Yo Maps. I always hear that in Yo Maps' stuff. There's just kind of like a clarity about the way that his instrumentals are structured. I'm liking this though. Again, this is #1 on the Boomplay chart for Zambia right now. This is a suggestion from Pressure T. Face saying, I like the vibe of the song. It gives me a happy, wholesome vibe. Yeah, similar. I can understand that. I can. There's something very uplifting about the vocal patterns that are being used, the overall melody, the overall harmony. Deadly Lord saying, for real, Faith. Yeah, I can definitely hear it, man. We're going to give this one another minute or so. Let's go.
Iwana ine happiness ni mumabotoro nimafuna kukonda pati mutima walema nimafuna tiri pamozi pati uzende wa papa mushambuye jendai munaipanga banji yesifuna tamushe.
This is really nice, man. It's really nice. The percussion again, very kind of lively, a lot of kind of jumpiness about it. Guys, it's that time again. I need you guys as involved as possible this time around, as it's the only stream we're going to be doing. It's the only requested stream we're going to be doing this year, realistically. We may do a few more next year. We are going to do an end-of-year mix special on the live stream session as well, but this is the last time we are going to be doing requested live this year, so do make sure you are getting involved on the chat on the right-hand side of the page. I want to hear your rankings for each and every tune that we do react to today. Again, give us a ranking out of 10. Even if you're a silent listener, you can just give us your rankings. That's fine. But let us know your rankings on the right-hand side of the page. We're going to give this one another 30 seconds. Definitely someone I need to be keeping an eye on in the future for sure. The sounds of Neo will go with Bottle Pali Love. Again, love the overall feeling of this one. Very uplifting. To an extent, quite kind of representative of a lot of the sounds that are going on that at least I'm hearing coming out of Zambia right now. There tends to be quite like an uplifting feel to a lot of the instrumentation, quite like an ascending feel to a lot of the kind of melodies that we're hearing, and I think this is another great example of that. Some really cool kind of vocal harmonies and chorusing going on as well. And overall, just a really enjoyable tune. Deadly Lord saying 8 out of 10, saying I don't regret that, solid song. Alongside this, Simeone saying a 8 out of 10. I think it deserves the #1 spot on the Zambian Boomplay though. Interesting. Deadly Lord saying make sure the alkaline scent on that DJ mix. It may well be on there. I don't know. I haven't decided what's going in there yet. I'm probably going to do that on maybe Christmas Eve earlier on. We'll see. Faith saying I'll give it a 7.85 out of 10. That's very, very specific and we love it. Emmanuel saying it's an 8 for me. Deadly Lord saying, damn, that slacked vocal is pretty good. It is pretty cool, man. I think Again, this is quite representative of a lot of the sounds we are hearing out of Zambia right now. Again, it just has that general kind of feeling of happiness. There is an uplifting kind of tendency to a lot of the compositional values on the tunes that at least I'm hearing. And again, I'm trying to keep my ear as close to the ground as possible. I'm always tapping up different people and DJs to know who the next people coming up are. Again, this one, a suggestion from Pressure T. Big up him. Make sure you do go and follow him if you are interested in what's going on over in Zambia right now. He is the guy with the finger on the pulse. Obviously, he has a lot of the big artists come through for his radio show. And yeah, he has appeared on the channel, so make sure you go and give him a follow. He's supporting what we do. We need to support what he does, so that's what it is. Moving on to the next section then. This is a bit that I am very, very excited for. Let me just bring this up on the right-hand side of the screen and load that up on there. We are going to get into a bit of a question, and I need your guys' participation at this point, and it's quite a big question. Because we've run numerous vlog videos and numerous Cubcast episodes on this exact topic on the channel. And overall, it's been really interesting kind of hearing what your guys' thoughts have been, the overall kind of response to what we've said. And we are going to be asking you in the crowd, in the comment section, in the chat, everywhere in and around this video. If you're in the live chat, this is primarily on you guys. I want to know what your Afrobeats track of the year is. Now, you can have 3 options. You can have a 1, 2, and a 3. You can have 3 tracks and not have to pick an overall favourite, but I want to hear what your favourite Afrobeats tracks of the year are. Now, we're going to run through this. I want to hear as many of you getting involved in the chat on the right-hand side as possible. Again, I want this show to be quite representative of what the channel is feeling, and you guys are as big a part of the channel as I am. I literally sit here and talk about sound. I love my part of it, but it's you guys that make the channel tick. You guys watching the videos, you guys getting involved, sharing the videos, liking them, clipping them up, and putting them on socials. It's crazy. The amount of support, and the amount of support on this channel has actually grown over the last year will always kind of blow me away. And obviously we've gone from at the start of the year being approaching 20 to the end of the year approaching 65k. That's something that's absolutely nuts in my head. So this for me is a chance to kind of ask you guys what you're feeling. I want to hear what your favorite Afrobeats release of 2022 is. You can't say Love 9TT because that came out the year before. You can't say the Peru remix, anything like that. I don't think anyone's going to say the Peru remix, but I need to know what your favorite tracks of the year within the Afrobeat space is. And let's get into these. To begin with, Deadly Lord saying Mona Lisa remix with Chris Brown is number 1. Very interesting, that one. Obviously, Mona Lisa as an original, absolutely huge tune. And it was really interesting to see Chris Brown, of all people, actually jumping on the official remix of that. When you actually see these big international remixes coming to the forefront, it's always interesting to see how the sort of remixer approaches them. We've seen a kind of general theme this year with the sort of more Americanized collaborative remix versions. We saw it, obviously, with the Mona Lisa remix to begin with. We then saw it on the official remix of Calm Down, which now is the Christmas number 1 on the US Afrobeats Billboard chart. Obviously, Selena Gomez being the official remix character on that one. And then more recently, we've seen it with Camila Cabello on the Oxlade Colosa remix. So it's an interesting kind of maneuver at how it works. Obviously, we've also seen that sort of specific approach happen within the sort of Afrobeat space as it is. We saw Burna Boy jump on the Songbo remix, arrived and absolutely killed it, which I loved. But yeah, an interesting one. You've also said Chris Brown featuring Wizkid, Call Me Every Day, the remix, not the original. That's an interesting one to have in there as well. Again, Emmanuel giving us his list. He will say, Wow by Wizkid featuring Skepta. I'm pretty sure Naira Marley's on that one as well. Interesting. Burna Boy, Roller Coaster. I think that's featuring Bad Bunny, I think it is. Confession from AV. Really cool tune to have in there, actually. AV, obviously an artist that is doing a lot right now. An artist that is going definitely under the radar of a lot of people. Yeah, interesting stuff. We also see the Mona Lisa remix featuring Chris Brown and Call Me Every Day from Wizkid. That is the selections from Emmanuel. Very interesting indeed. Simeon saying Colosa by Oxlade was my fave this year by far. Stand Strong by Davido can't be left out as well. I mean, in all the videos that I've done on this topic, I've said numerous times that Colosa is my favourite track of the year. Bodge featuring Any Culture is my second favourite track of the year, and that's one that's gone really slept on. I think, realistically, if you're doing an accurate top 3 for yourself, the odds are one of them in there isn't going to be the sort of global one, which is really interesting to see. Deadly Lord saying Chris Brown featuring Davido, Nobody Has to Know, is number 3. Again, so you're going for 3 Chris Brown tunes. That's really interesting to see on there. But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this one. I'm always keen to hear what you guys think. There's a lot of kind of international approach on this one. Really interesting Emmanuel's suggestion having Wow from Wizkid and Naira Marley and Skepta on there in as number 1. I find that really interesting. I don't necessarily think think More Love, Less Ego was underwhelming. I think the world maybe has slept on it a little bit, and I think it's going to take a lot of juice to kind of match up to obviously an album as potent as Made in Lagos. That for me is still the quintessential modernized Afrobeats project, and that can be sort of summarized by just how well we're seeing the streaming still doing. Essence was the most streamed. I think Essence was still the highest selling. I think it was. It's the highest something. Essence is still the highest something, despite the fact it came out over 2 years ago. So it's crazy to see how well that album is still performing. But there we go. If no one else has anything to put into that one, do let us know in the comment section down below when this gets clipped up and put up onto the channel. Again, this is all about you guys. I need to stress that this is all about you guys, this stream. You keep asking me to bring these back, and again, I've just not had the time on Fridays. Like, I'm packing my weeks out, and then on Fridays I just want to go and have a good time, and I just don't tend to have the energy to do them because these do take them out of me. But I'm very happy we've managed to sneak one in by the end of the year. So if at any point in this video you do kind of want to give us your top 3, do let me know and we'll read them out for you, because they need to be a part of these videos, man. That's what we need to be. I need to give more to you guys. But we are going to move now onto our next track, which comes to us from Great Adams. Again, a frequenter of the channel, someone who's appeared on the channel in interview format, and someone that's appeared on the channel in review format as well. I'm very interested to check this one out because this is a track that goes by the name Dirty Wine featuring Terry G. Ckay Fuego actually getting involved as well before it rolls over. Victini, Soweto, and 2 Omar Soso. Very interesting indeed. Omar making his way into your list. Victini, Soweto I'm not mad at. Again, had some serious virality about it, and was a tune that really picked up steam following on from the launch of the Outlaw EP. That wasn't the original one that hit, and then down the line it became this sort of global viral sensation, especially in the TikTok space. Omar Soso, again, one of the stronger tracks of Boy Alone, without a shadow of a doubt. And at number 3, Burna Boy Alone. I'm not mad at it, mate. I'm really, really not mad at it, purely because that film in general I thought it was an outstanding film. I absolutely loved it, and I thought the soundtracking was so on the money. I absolutely loved Fireboy's addition to that album, but Burna Boys Alone has gone on and done some fantastic things since it landed. Simeon saying, I'll forever respect Chris Brown, though. I just remembered what he did on Fireboy and Rema's albums. He's goated. I definitely say in his space, music-wise, he is. Obviously, he's got a lot of controversy surrounding him and things like that, so I'd struggle to call him a genuine greatest of all time, but there's no doubt that his musical ability is up there with the best of them. That's what I'll say on that. But moving forward, we are going to get into the next track then, as I said before. Great Adams featuring Terry G. This one goes by the name Dirty Wine. If you don't know about Great Adams, I need to stress that you need to go and listen to him. UK based. He's based in Northampton, I think. Which is really, really interesting, because I'm pretty sure Craywolf's from Northampton as well. Or maybe they just know each other from something else. But yeah, we're going to get into this one now. As you can see, it is at the top of the screen. He always has fun videos as well. So there we go. Yeah, we're going to get into this one now. Out to Eli Jules saying Alkaline Monopoly. If we have time, we'll sneak that one in. But yeah, we are going to check this one out now. It goes by the name Dirty Wine, Great Adams featuring Terry G. Let's get into it right about now. We are live on Cubcam TV. I'm pretty sure that's going to be switched over. Yeah, it is. Right, let's get into it right about now.
Yeah.
Call me till I try to find my stop on them. Call me G.J. alongside Great Adams. Best.
I want your body young.
Body young.
Did the dirty wine pan.
Baby, make your body wine.
I like it when you ride on me.
She banana, man.
Dirty wine, dirty wine, dirty wine. I'ma go do the dirty wine, dirty wine, dirty wine.
See, what I really like about Great Adams is the ability he has to kind of fuse classic modernised dancehall elements with, again, UK style Afrobeats and also international style Afrobeats as well. All of his videos have this very kind of fun, uplifting feel to them, which I really, really like. Then on top of that as well, I just love the fact that he always just brings that sort of really nice level of vocal layering as well. We do have another top selection in here. Faith saying Mara from Rema. Recently discovered and can't get enough of it. Overdose for sure. Trabaye by Ckay. Terminator, Omar Ope. Honestly, 80% of Ckay's songs. Beggy by Aira. Emiliana from CK and Philo from Bella. Very interesting indeed. Deadly Lord saying not to disrespect, but I've heard a lot of these types of songs. I'd agree. There's definitely a kind of specific space where this sort of sound dominates. I wouldn't say that this is the most original song in the world. I already think that Great Adams does a very good job of making it his own, though. I love the fact he always films in car parks as well.
Girl, I wanna come on. Why you do me so? Girlie, why you do me so? Girl, I wanna get down on my knees. Baby, get down on your knees. Oh, make I do you 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if I do you 1, 2, 3. To me, till I bend over in my Range Rover. Give it to you left and right.
I like the addition of that instrumental part as well. The fact that you've got that little kind of bleepy synthesizer starting to make more and more impact as it goes on. Again, there's something so special about this sort of collaborative energy. I've seen Terry G around for a while. I think Great Adams as an artist is somewhat slept on because he has an ability, one, to put a smile on your face. He's incredibly good live. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the freestyle he did on the channel a little while back. We did it live on radio. He did his version of Hold Ya. Absolutely ridiculous. It's one of my favourite things I've ever been a part of in a live setting, so do check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, overall, I'm enjoying this. I love the fact that it is very unapologetically itself. You know, it's not trying to be something else. It's literally trying to be a cool fusion of modernised dancehall and Afrobeat flavour. It's wicked.
You lose your mind. So me tell her bend over in my Range Rover. Give it to you left and right until you lose your mind. Hello, hello, that's it, wine, that's it, wine, that's it, wine. I'ma go do the that's it, wine, that's it, wine, that's it, wine, that's it, wine. I'ma go do the that's it, wine.
Again, on top of that as well, it just... Something that I always kind of swear by, especially on this channel, is I am always going to at least find some enjoyment in a tune if I can't sit still to it. And again, this is another example of that. Whether it just be the simplicity of that tripleted style instrumental, whether it be the energy that Great Adams brings, whether it be the actual kind of maneuvering of the music video itself, there's no getting away from the fact that this tune has bags of energy. It might not be a very specific type of energy that people want to hear, but there's no getting away from the fact the tune has a ton of energy behind it, and you can hear that in the way that it's it's kind of growing. Faith saying, are those dance moves I'm seeing? Always. Come on, I never sit still. Maybe in the old streams I used to sit still, I don't know, but I always bop around these days. Why sit still? What's the point in sitting still? Especially when you're reacting to music that is designed to make you dance, you know? Why sit still, man? Come on, enjoy yourself. You know what that is as well? That's Banks having too much of an influence on me. I watch too many of Banks' videos. That's clear, because that guy moves. that guy moves. I'm clearly trying to just emulate that energy on this channel. Terry G bringing a real sort of dancehall influence to the table to kind of round it off. I think these two work really nicely. Both have very electronic styles of vocals, but I know their vocals sound just as good without the sort of auto-tune elements and those electronic elements kind of folded in. But it's something that's a part of their sound. And I think it's really cool to see them in collaboration like this. Again, a really, really jumpy tune. Guys, I need to know your thoughts on this one. If you are involved and you are watching the stream, the one thing I will ask of you is if you are watching, please let us know your ranking for each individual tune. Feel free to give us your rankings from about a minute in or so, just so we've got them all stacked up at the end. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys think of this one. Dominic Andrews saying Terry G vibes. I think Terry G is so cold on this. Dominic Andrews saying with this onomatopoeia. I don't know what that. I know what onomatopoeia means, but I don't know what the what the point of trying to make is. Deadly Lord saying 7.5 out of 10, solid. Emmanuel saying it's a 6.5 for me. Very interesting indeed. Faith saying I like the upbeatness of the song. Deadly Lord saying yo, respect to the artist, not taking anything away from him. Another suggestion for the best track of the year. Emmanuel saying Johar by Ckay. That's a tune that's been slept on, and it's crept back up on people. It's a tune I think that a lot of people have added to their playlist after it kind of playing naturally after a previous tune. That's what I keep seeing. And that's a tune that's held its position really well in the Billboard chart as well. I can't lie to you. But yeah, we are going to move forward in just a second unless anyone else has any rankings to give. Dominic Andrews saying Terry G with his onomatopoeia, his lyrics don't make sense half of the time, just vibes. Yeah, and you know what? I'm fine with it a lot of the time. I feel a similar way about Back Row G, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of the time I can try and interpret, like, the deep internal lyricism meaning behind a Back Row G lyric, but a lot of the time I like it when he's just going bup. I like that. Sometimes it just does the job, you know? Alongside that, Faith saying I'll give it a 5.8 out of 10. Wow, the lowest rating so far today. Interesting stuff. Very interesting indeed. Deadly Lord saying Faith, that's surprising. Interesting indeed. Very interesting. But we are going to move forward into the next one. This one suggested by another fellow YouTuber who goes by the name IC Phoenix. Again, do make sure you are going and supporting his channel if you haven't already. I'm very keen to see what you guys are thinking about this one. Dominic Andrews saying I can't rate him because he's just crazy. Interesting. But we are going to move forward. Again, this one coming to us as a suggestion from IC Phoenix. Do make sure you're supporting him if you haven't already. Oh, wow, this is one that both Phoenix and Banks have both reacted to. Interesting stuff. It goes by the name For Life from an artist called, I think it's Ikemdi. It's Ikemdi or Ikemdi. But yeah, we're going to check this one out now. It goes by the name For Life. This is the official upload. I like the artwork. That's got quite like it almost reminds me of like an old school grime mixtape. The way that sort of sounds. Young Kid Flex saying Psycho YP Smoke for free. Simeone on the previous track saying to cut it short, I give it a 6.3 out of 10. Interesting. Very interesting stuff. We are going to move forward then. This one, as I said before, Ikemdi with For Life. I think the project might be called Pull Up, and this is For Life as an individual. Yeah, I'm interested to check this one out. Again, this one suggested by a good friend of mine, IC Phoenix. Make sure you are supporting his channel if you haven't already. Go and give it a subscribe. Really, really cool sort of TikTok approach. So it's E as in easy, Ikemdi. So it's Ikemdi. Okay, cool. There we go. Now I know how to say it. Thank you. IK Fuego saying, just found out recently that Ikemdi is my cousin. Well, I'm hoping this is a banger then. I really hope it's a banger. I hope I like it, otherwise I'm in the mud. But yeah, we're going to jump into it now. Let's go.
You say you love me as long as I deserve it. Baby, don't worry, 'cause I cannot have it. No need for no troubles, and I don't think you're worthy.
This immediately is giving me some really, really, really good flavors, man. Again, the really cool use of percussion, a big part of this tune, is the sense of rhythm that is immediately there and immediately very evident as well. The whole feel of the tune has a really nice bounce to it. I'm loving the fact that you have got, again, those skippy sort of drum textures going on. Really nice bass elements going on down below as well. That vocal line as well, super, super smooth, not too intrusive into the rest of the kind of mix down or the overall feel. I'm really liking this. It's so for Emmanuel, this is a track that goes by the name For Life by Ikemdi, who is IK Fuego's cousin, apparently. He said this is a very nice Amapiano song. Dominic Andrews saying starting off like an Ashake tune. Faith saying wow, we've got a celebrity among us in IK Fuego. We'd love to see it. I'm liking this, man. This is cool.
Ain't worth it, and I know that it's worth it, 'cause I just wanna ginger. Get headed to the top, I don't need that. It's been a month since I did that. Yeah, came up from a truck, yeah, I did that. One time when I link up, started from the top and I mean that. Since lockdown, man, I've been down. Baby, it's a shutdown when I'm in down. You said you want it for life, for life. Don't think about me, 'cause I'm drunk in a party, sipping Bacardi.
I'm loving the simplicity of this as well. The fact that it is literally just very typical Amapiano elements, nothing too over the top, nothing too kind of strange or out there. This is just going, we're going to take the simple bits of Amapiano that we know work, and we're going to turn it into a dance floor heater. That's literally what this is. It's got such a cool kind of overall feel to it. The drums very wooden, but also very kind of pulsing, very, very punchy at the same time. Cindy saying those drums are fire. It's an 8 or 9. Emmanuel saying I'm a piano with a laughing cat face and a rocket. Faith with the dancing emojis. That's what we love to see. This is probably my favorite of the tracks we've actually heard so far. There's a really good overall vibe to this one. It just has a bounce and an infectiousness that automatically gets me. Dominic Andrews saying the instrumentation is just a tad overpowering for the vocals. Potentially, yes. Emmanuel saying it's a 9 for me just because of the Amapiano. We'll run through all the rest of the ratings as we go on. Get your ratings in, people. Let's go. If it wants to play, maybe. Nearly perfect. Nearly. Something else I'm really liking as well is the fact that those vocals are undeniably influenced by sort of modernized R&B. And they are doing a really good job of just kind of lifting the rest of the tune. There's almost like this absolute cascade of madness going on with the drums, the bass, a couple of sort of synth patterns in there as well. And above it, you've just got this really kind of smooth, kind of cloudy layer of R&B-esque vocals, kind of giving the whole thing a sense of color, whilst you've got the rhythm being entirely kind of designed below. Interesting this, Deadly Lord saying 7.9, Simeon saying loving the rhythm and the harmony though, Bongi saying it's lit, Dominic Andrews saying vocals is top notch. Perhaps the vocals are ever so slightly too quiet. That would be probably my only criticism. It's well pointed out actually from Emmanuel. Not Emmanuel, from Dominic Andrews. They are really good vocals, but they are ever so slightly, potentially, too quiet, depending on your preference. But I don't know. I don't think it actually changes the overall feel.
But you always decline, and maybe you put no effort, but I understand now. It's all in my head, girl. It's time to play back, 'cause I'm leveled up on my system. Yeah, it's to the top, I don't need them. I no go stop till I give them, run till I beat them, try to defeat them. Shut down when I link them. Fell up to the top when I did that. It's shut down when I've been there, and baby it's a shutdown when I'm in there.
Yeah, absolute heater this one. A solid 8.5 from me. Going through your rankings on this one, we are seeing an 8 or 9 already from Cindy. We're seeing alongside this a 9 from Emmanuel, 7.9 from Deadly Lord, 7.3 from Faith. So we're averaging around a high, like a mid 8, I'd say, probably looking at all the others. Deadly Lord saying dope song as well. This is really cool, man. Definitely a tune. This is the sort of tune that I absolutely used to love, kind of being shown on these streams. I won't say discovering because I'm not discovering it. It's you guys showing me. Which is an absolute pleasure and a privilege, I've got to say. But it's really, really cool. And this is the sort of thing that I used to absolutely love about these streams, was I always got shown bangers like these, and then I fell in love with them. And this one, Ikemdi, for life. Ckay Fuego, make sure you go and tell your cousin that this one is fire if you are in contact with him. Simeon saying, I've got to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Dominic saying, I don't sense melodic progression for the first half. It happens mostly in the second half. 7.5 out of 10. Interesting comments. Overall, this one, solid. Deadly Lord giving it a... No, not Deadly Lord saying, damn, 9.5. Okay. I enjoyed this one immensely. I really, really did. We're going to open up something now that I've never actually done on these live streams before. And there's obviously this little thing down here. You can probably... I don't know if you can see it, but there's a thing that says engage with your audience. So we're going to start a Q&A session. And what we're going to do is... we're going to do that. So I've put a... I've put a question in there. You should be able to check it out if you go to the questions. I think you can sort of reply to it. But yeah, basically, ask me anything about the channel. Anything about what I'm doing music-wise. I may as well open it up. This is going to be the last live stream of the year in a sort of sense where I'm talking. So please do the Q&A. See, just ask me a question and I'll try and answer it. It'll give us a bit more to talk about. It's a good way of kind of interacting. But there we go. Jay San saying fire, saying yo, WTW Cub, what's good? Hope you're all good. Dominic Andrews saying it may grow on me. I think this is definitely a tune that will grow on. It's a tune that's definitely going to grow on me, man. I'm really excited to kind of take that one in and add it to my playlists. The next track on our listing then, we are slowly working through these and we've still got a load more to get into, comes to us from Just Vibes. Again, if you are a fan of the channel, you will know that we often collaborate with Just Vibes here. I really enjoy kind of making videos with her. She's so full of enthusiasm, and again, we've kind of been on a YouTube journey together over the last year or so. So yeah, I'm excited to check out her suggestion. This one goes by the name Ckay with For Life. That's the name, Simeon. If you want to check it out. Ckay saying not in contact with him yet. Oh, you got to make the link, man. You got to make a link. The artist is spelled Ikemdi, Simeon, if you're looking for a way of finding it. But there we go. Moving forward, we're going to get into this one. Again, this is a suggestion from Just Vibes. Make sure you are subscribed to her channel if you're not already. I do need to make sure I haven't already acted to this, because I know I did do a fair few. I've already done it, Vivs. No, I've already done it. That's annoying. I have already done it. This is the thing. I had a feeling that I would have already done it. Should we just do a different track off the off that project? Maybe, I don't know. Someone message Vivs for me, because I need to concentrate on making this all work, and we'll get back to her suggestion down the line, because we've already done that one, which is very annoying. But yeah, let me know. Someone message Vivs for me. Vivs, pull up in the comment. Someone message Viv on some form of social media network and tell her to get in here. Deadly Lord, you're not sneaking in front of the queue like that. I see your game. We are going to get into a different suggestion. This one comes to us from Abaga. Abaga, obviously a living legend of the game, and this is a track that goes by the name Forever, off a project that came out in 2008 via Chocolate City. Absolute madness. We're going way back when. I'm excited to check it out, though. I like Abaga. I think he's a very, very good rapper. This is the next track we're going to be checking out. Let's go. This one, again, Chocolate City on the label Duties, Abaga. Off to talk about it. Project that goes by the name Forever. Let's get into it right about now. This one's suggested by Ckay. Again, a long-time follower of the channel. Big up him. Those drums across the intro on this are so cool. They're literally like, they also remind me of Cisco. Is it Cisco Thong Song that has that really nutty drum set across the introduction? Like these really big, kind of beefy, almost kind of like Amazonian sounding drums. The drums on this sound very, very similar. Just big and beefy and very much in your face. Lots of really kind of old school, very kind of progressive R&B synth work going on as well. Really interesting link up on how it all sounds. Really interesting. Interesting tune more than anything else. Abaga, clearly someone with a lot of history and a lot of kind of depth of artistry.
Excuse me, lady, I've been wanting to know. I've been watching you all night on the floor. I've been hoping and waiting for this chance, so I could ask you if you would like to dance. I like the way you move, I like the way you shake. If I don't answer you, girl, I feel like my heart will break. I wanna hold you, tease you, rock you, squeeze you. So promise me that you will dance along with me.
I'm loving how throwback this is. Again, this came out in 2008, apparently, so obviously it's not going to be the most up-to-date sounding tune, but I love the fact this literally sounds like it could be, I don't know, this could be like an old-school Usher tune. It could be like an old-school tune on an Usher album, or like a Neo album, or something from that kind of era. I love how kind of digitized the vocals are, the fact they take up a lot of space, but again, in a very sort of digital way. On top of that as well, I like the fact that a lot of the sort of drum structures are just very abstract. I just like the fact it's very different and it's very out there, and it isn't necessarily inside the box at all, which in a time period, I feel this is even outside the box for the time period as far as I'm aware. So that's really, really cool to see.
Don't move, please. You give weak knees. Hey, little mama, what's your sneeze? Gotta say why you looking grand like G's. Hello, hi.
I'm MI. I'm so fly, my low is high. Been staring all night, you've been on my brain. And I wanna be able like Kane to dance all night with you. Let you know since I met you, I know I can't forget you. See, I can make it rain and I wanna wet you and show you how forever it can feel like a couple of sex. It's a whole lot more than just sex, and it isn't complex, girl.
Again, it's really cool to see Chocolate City's kind of overall influence over the years as well. Obviously, they're very much involved with everything that's going on now, smashing it in a lot of different departments. Obviously, Young John being kind of like the new star that they're pushing at the moment. And they've always been very supportive of what we've done here on the channel, so I do want to make sure we always big them up. But again, you can see the history of Chocolate City as a label with this, because this, again, it's very abstract, but it clearly is a tune that has stood the test of time. It's actually done quite well. You can hear you can hear that it is a little bit old school, obviously, but it feels like it doesn't sound dated, you know? It sounds like it was made a while ago, but it doesn't sound dated, if that makes sense. It's sort of this middle ground. Cindy's saying the vocals are good. It's a 5 out of 10. Interesting stuff. You saying 5 out... Why would you say 5 out of 10? Because I'd put it a lot higher than a 5 out of 10. Emmanuel saying 4 out of 10. Are you saying that for, like, if this was to come out now, or are you saying that just on how the tune is as a whole? Because I'd say they're both really low. I'd have put this in a sort of 6-7 range, just because of the fact it was made in 2008, so I feel you kind of have to take that into account as a listener. 14 years old, by the way, so the fact it's even like remotely listenable, or it even sounds kind of cool now, I feel, if for a track that came out that long ago. I find that automatically kind of gives it at least like a 6 or a 7, but that's just me. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Get your rankings in on the right hand side. We're going to give this one another 30 seconds or so.
If you are ready, let me rock you slowly, hold you, and then we can dance the night away. I have been waiting for so long to get lost inside a song. This feeling is so strong. Come on, let's dance the night away. I like the way you move, I like the way you shake. If I don't answer you, girl, I feel like my heart will break. I wanna hold you, tease you, rock you, squeeze you.
Out to Dominic Andrews saying, I'll skip the rating on old school. That's fair enough, to be fair. We used to always do that, didn't we? We always used to kind of skip the ratings on old school ones purely for that reason. I'm in the process of taking this jumper off, by the way. I'm not trying to pretend I'm at Fashion Week. It's just very warm in this room, even though it's absolutely freezing outside here in the UK. And I'm very warm, so I want to take this off at the first available opportunity. You know what? We're going to do now. I hate having radio silence, but it needs to be done. Alright, that's better. Professionalism summarized live on Cubcam TV. Jason Sand saying 6 on this one. Thank you for liking the Instagram post as well. We do see you. But there we go. Again, a little dip into the old school. We used to do that a lot on the streams on a regular basis. If you are new to the streams, we always used to dive into older tunes a lot of the time. Discovered a lot of P-Square, doing it that way around as well, which is why I was so excited to check out the new P-Square stuff when it landed. But there we go. We are now going to get into the second sort of questionnaire bit of this stream. Faith saying I'd also give it a 5. There are loads of old school scans I'd gladly listen to, but this isn't one of them for me. Okay, that's fair enough. That makes sense. That does make sense. But yeah. There we go. We are now going to move into the next section, which is basically discussing this channel for 2023. Now, obviously, this year, I feel we have done quite well in regards to pushing content, in regards to putting new content out there, in regards to just in general trying to like smash the YouTube sort of thing as much as we can. I've had a fair bit of time on my hands this year. Obviously, I took a step away from radio earlier on in the year to kind of focus on doing this and doing more journalistic bits. And I felt like it would be a good kind of period in my life to just kind of push and focus on YouTube as a platform, and that's essentially what I've done for most of this year. I've put the majority of my time and creative effort into basically growing this channel and turning it into a platform which I feel is quite valid within the industry, and off the back of that, we've been invited to a number of different events. We've had great opportunities to interview some of the biggest artists in the game, the likes of Ladipo, Magixx, Kwesi Arthur was a couple of weeks ago as well, alongside some really cool newcomers as well. We had a really cool interview with LV a couple of weeks ago, and overall it's been really, really exciting as a journey this year. But what I want to kind of discuss with you guys first of all is I've got a poll which I want to put up, and again, this is just one click, so I want everyone to get as involved as they can with this. If you can, what do you want to see from Cubcam TV in 2023? That was a really nice ring to it. Because I'll explain why in just a second. Right, so if everyone can get involved in that poll that is at the top of the page, it takes one click, and I just kind of want to see from you guys basically your thoughts on what's going on with this. Obviously, we've done a lot of different things this year. We've expanded the channel into a lot of different areas, a lot more sort of mixed focus content this year, which we weren't doing prior. That's something that I'm very, very keen to kind of push myself, but obviously we have had a lot of interviews on the channel as well, from more specifically Afrobeats artists. Alongside that, we've obviously been doing a lot more of the sort of news side of things with the Cubcast episodes, and what I essentially want to do next year is really kind of refine the content that we are doing. Don't get it twisted for a second. We are going to continuously be pushing reaction-based content, but when we're not doing reaction-based content, I want to kind of refine what we are doing. Now, for me, mixing is my favorite thing in the world. I love putting together mini mixes and things like that. That's something I've always done, and it's something that's a big part of my kind of upbringing in music. I've always DJ'd. It's something I've always done. I've always played shows, and it's something I've always done on radio. So I'm keen to see what elements, more than anything else, you guys are kind of keen on us pushing here on the channel. Whether that be more interview-based content, whether that be more sort of Cubcast-based content, whether that be mixed content, or whether it be other. If you're going to click other on that poll as well, please let me know what sort of content you mean. We're using this as kind of like a live listening session whilst I've got you guys here. I'm quite keen to see what you would want to see from the channel moving forward, because obviously I follow what you guys want to do more than anything else. Like, I'm not going to put together a reaction video for something which nobody wants to listen to, because it just seems pointless. No one's going to watch it. It takes me an effort to do. I don't enjoy doing it. No one wins, basically. But if there are sort of more specific sort of styles of video you'd like me to do, if there are, again, more specific things you'd like me to cover in the Cubcast series, if there's more sort of specific artists you'd like me to get onto the channel for interviews, now's your time to let me know. So do get into the chat. Let me know what you're kind of looking forward to for 2026 on the channel, like what your sort of specific favorite things about the channel are. We're using this, again, as I said, as an opportunity to kind of explore where we can take things next year. Obviously, because I'm going to be going back into a different sort of job scenario next year, so I do need to make sure I'm using my time wisely on the channel. Like, I'm not going to be able to sit and post 4 or 5 videos a day anymore. I'm going to be working a different job, so I need to be making sure that when I'm spending time on the channel, I'm doing it in a more kind of specific, knowing that it's going to be content that you guys are interested in kind of way. So please let me know in the chat on the right hand side, and we will and we'll get into it. Faith saying, I'd love more live requests if possible. You see, the thing with doing the live streams is everyone always misses out. And to do them to an extent where they're going to grow into something actually quite special, I would need to be doing them realistically probably 2 times a week. And moving forward, I just don't think I'm going to have either the time or the energy to be doing them once a week at the very least. So I think what we might do is maybe try and do them once a month on a sort of date that I know I'm going to be able to. Purely because I don't want to do the live requests unless I've got the energy to do them. Because believe it or not, this is very draining to do, to kind of sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours. I don't know how people stream for like 3 or 4 hours. I really, really don't. Like, I used to do radio every day, and I used to be on a show for 3 hours. I don't know how people stream for that extended period of time, because it is quite draining to do. I definitely want to get more of these done, but I don't want to kind of do them unless I have the energy to do them, because otherwise I feel it's a wasted sort of scenario, and it just kind of tarnishes what we've built with them over the last year. Okay, cool. So the general results on the poll is we see mixes and Cubcasts and other all on 17%, and a whopping 50% is saying interviews. Okay, if you voted interviews, what sort of artists would you be keen on me having discussions with? Would you like to see more specifically artists as in vocalists? Would you like to see rappers? Would you like to see producers? Would you like to see more sort of industry heads, maybe even other sort of famous DJs, that sort of thing? What sort of people would you like to see me interview? Again, I've been interviewing people for the best part of half a decade, whether that be live on air or whether that be through sort of different sort of text platforms or journalistic platforms. I love interviewing people. I really, really do. But I just want to make sure, as I said before, that if we are doing more interview content, it's content that you guys want to see. Because there's nothing more kind of upsetting than putting a lot of effort into kind of organising an interview, putting it together, getting it all filmed, getting it all edited, then it going up online, and no one caring. That's something that I don't really want to be doing as much in 2023, because I want this channel to not be kind of like a drain. I want it to be something I look forward to doing. And obviously doing it alongside full-time work is going to be quite tiring, and I want to make sure that I'm using that energy properly, essentially. So I just want to make sure we've got the right sort of direction. So in general, it looks like we're seeing interviews and mixed content as the two things you want to see more of. That's cool to see. Yeah, okay, cool. I think we've got all the information we needed. Jasan saying industry execs, A&Rs, and artists. A&Rs would be an interesting one. And industry execs. I've got a few contacts at a few of the bigger labels in Afrobeats at the moment. Definitely something that I could look at digging into a bit more. Again, it's just whether people would be interested in seeing it. A lot of the time, if you kind of do industry-related people, it's only other industry-related people that actually are keen on listening. And I don't want the channel to become too closed in that kind of way. But the sort of artist side of things, obviously, we can still push that. A lot of the time, the requests for interviews actually come to us, and a lot of the time, and then we just kind of fold them into the pattern of the channel. So yeah, interesting stuff. There we go. Well, that's pretty much everything I needed to know, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your input on the poll as well. We are going to get back into reactions now. Don't you worry. And we are going to check out Faith's reaction next, which is Overdose from Magixx, the Echo Room edition. We're going to get this loaded up now on the left-hand side of the page. And there we go. Ckay Fuego saying producers and artists. Okay, that's definitely something we can do more of. I'd love to interview more producers. The interview we did with Andre Vibes towards the end of the year, I really enjoyed. I think Andre Vibes is such a cool character. I think he's someone that has really kind of pushed the idea of, again, kind of electricity within production. The same for Dr. Set as well. I absolutely loved getting into the Dr. Set interview we did live on Instagram. That was great fun. But yeah, there we go. We are going to get into our next one now. This one, Magixx, Maven's Overloading, and Love Don't Cost a Dime. It's only, it's a 7-minute video, Faith. So if you could tell me what sort of time period you want me to start this one in, because again, we can only listen to 2 minutes or so. I'm assuming it starts off. I'm assuming it starts off, through there. Jess Sands saying, am I able to request originals? At this moment in time, no, purely because we have got all of the requests we're likely to be able to get through already in. I think we're probably going to get through maybe 4 or 5 more until we finish up. So yeah, that would probably be the case, Jess Sands. As always with these, it's the sooner you get in and get your request in, the more likely we are going to be able to react to it. That's pretty much what this is. So Faith, if you could let me know what sort of time stamp you want us to start listening on, because it is a 7-minute video. Which for some reason has, according to the timestamps on it, a 5-minute outro, which is very bizarre. Not too sure why that's the case. But there, Ckay Fuego saying I enjoyed that interview too. I thought Andre Vibes was such a cool guy, man. I loved listening to him talk about kind of his sort of expectations and how, I suppose being involved in the writing camps as well. It was really cool to kind of talk to someone that's very much involved in that sort of Maven approach at the moment. Maven's such an exciting thing to look at the moment as well. But yeah. I'd like to speak to someone at Empire if possible. I think that would be quite cool because obviously Empire really, well, they're building an empire essentially of a lot of different Afrobeats artists and African rappers as well. I'd be really interested to talk to someone at Empire if I could, but there we go. Right, Magixx, Maven's Overloading. I've got a timestamp. We're going to start at the beginning and stop at 2 minutes in. This one, again, Echo Room, a really cool channel. If you're not following Echo Room, do go and give them a follow. Similar to Glitch Africa, a similar kind of sound and feel, basically recreating a lot of kind of classic Afrobeats tunes. I don't know whether they're linked to studios, but they do a very similar thing. And yeah, we're going to check this one out now. Thank you to Faith for the suggestion. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, nah, yeah. Hey. You get that shit, they be. You they at me like about me. I just wanna be there when you need me. Baby, now your matter are the reason.
Where does Magixx rank in regards to kind of breakout artists this year? Because obviously he was around last year, but wasn't kind of pushing the same way that he is now. Obviously being involved in the sort of Maven projects, being involved in this. Obviously Love Don't Cost a Dime as well. He's had a couple of cool features since this as well. Where would you kind of rate Magixx over the year? Has he kind of had a good year? Has he had an average year? Has he had a disappointing year? I'm keen to hear from you guys on this one, purely because Magixx is an artist we had the pleasure of interviewing earlier on in the year. We've interviewed quite a lot of the Maven lot, to be honest with you. We've interviewed interviewed A Star, we've interviewed Ladipo, we've interviewed Magixx as well. I'm keen to hear what you guys are saying about Magixx as an artist as well, because I think obviously this tune did bits for everyone involved. But how are you all feeling about this?
Overdosing, body overdose. I'ma say you carry overload, and you know you bad like commando. No man, no go downgrade. Make a carry your luggage, and now they find you for 4 days, yeah. No trust, fit to contain. And your body na package.
I've got to say, I really like the orchestration of this as a new version. Obviously, the original is very, very specific. It's very kind of, it's very electronically produced, and you can hear that it's very electronically produced. But this one does have a really nice kind of free-form, almost jazz kind of feel to it, with its overall arrangement, which is really cool to see. I love the fact that you are getting to hear the more sort of delicate side of Magixx vocal as well. Ckay Fuego saying he's had a good year. Faith saying a pretty good year as well. I think he's had a pretty good year, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because we interviewed him. Of course, the highlight was coming on this channel. Of course it was. But yeah, no, I'm joking, of course. I think he's had a very solid year. I think he's definitely elevated his own stock, primarily through cool collaboration, which is such a good way of doing it. I think next year I'd like to see a full-length project from him. Where he is front and center a bit more. He seems to be front and center on a lot of the Maven stuff, but it's never kind of listed that way. So I think I'd like to see him in his own solo lane, being front and center of maybe like a 9 or 10 track project next year.
I'm falling for love. Overloading, body overloading. Now you, I want, me love you, I think of follow. Overloading, I'll be overloading. Your bank account, money plenty, tell me the amount.
Yeah, I'm really liking this as a recreation. I won't lie. I love this, like this version. I love the way they've approached it. I love the fact that it is just very focused. It's very much focused on those guitars being the kind of lead element, rather than that sort of boom 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 that we hear on the original. And again, really cool use of delicacy style vocals, man. Again, you can hear a lot of emotion, a lot of fragility in his vocal performance. Really, really enjoyable. So yeah, we'll give this one another 30 seconds and then move on to our next track. But good stuff from Magixx. Lovely stuff. The sounds of Magixx, that one overloading on the Echo Room live studio scenario. Very enjoyable tune. I think this is a really cool recreation version. And I think as well, the interesting thing about this is you do get to see Magixx in a solo light. I think that's the only thing he's really missing from his year. I feel all of his big moments have actually been in collaboration rather than as solo standout points. So I would really like to see him as I said, in the next year, really push himself on more of a solo level, not as like part of a wider collective. I think every other artist on Maven's currently doing that, apart from maybe Boy Spice. Obviously, his EP came out and then he went straight into the big sort of collaborative approach. Aira's obviously had her project out this year. Ladipo's had a lot of kind of different bits out, not necessarily as much on the solo side of things, but he has had a couple of solo drops which have been big. Obviously, Crayon's had a big year with Ijo, a huge tune, that one. Rema's obviously had his big solo push as well. I think I've already said Aira Star, but Aira's obviously had a great year with the 19 and Dangerous Deluxe. So I think it's time for Magixx to kind of move into that space as well, push his own solo approach. That's what I'd love to see moving forward. Right, we're going to get into the next track then. We've only got a few left. And then we are going to round off again. I don't want to stream for too long and get tired and it not be entertaining for you guys. So we are going to get into a suggestion next from Banks. And this is a track from Two-Face, 10 years old, official to Baba, Ifana Abaga. Because he suggested another one, and I couldn't react to it because we'd already done it. So there we go. Faith saying on the previous track as well, I'll give it an 8.2 out of 10. Cindy saying the vocals, the voice, he was really good. I agree. I think he was fantastic on that previous one. I definitely think that he has a lot of vocal ability. I think Magixx, as I said, I think he needs to really push into that sort of solo space next year. Right, I don't know what to expect with this one. Whenever Banks gives me a suggestion, it's usually a lot older than I'm used to reacting to, and I'm usually bereft of any sort of surrounding knowledge. So again, this one, Two-Face, Ifana, Abaga, I don't think we've reacted to this one on the channel. If we have, then I will let you all know, and we will jump into something else. But yeah, let's get into this one right about now.
Yeah, I'm coming out straight this time. I'm coming out with a little of my own kind of peace of mind. I'm doing it my way this time, like I'm not gonna bore you with some flimsy kind of piece of rhymes. So pull a cushion, sit back, relax, and listen to this introduction of me, myself, and my mission. My vision is to let you all see that there's more to this life than just faking.
And we have already reacted to it, for Christ's sake. That's annoying. I've just got to look back, yeah. I've already done it. I know. I recognise the name. I recognise how the music video looked. I wasn't sure, but we have already done it, and it is already up on the channel, Banks. So there we go. If anyone does want to watch that reaction, literally just go onto YouTube and search this. Look, I've just realised as I've done it. If you search Cubcam next to it, it's there. So there we go. Did quite well as well. There we go. Well, we're going to move on to the next one then. These are going very, very quickly. Dominic Andrews has a suggestion from Ckay, so we're going to get into that one next, alongside Oxlade and Kidi. Just double check I haven't done. This is the thing. It's been so long since I've done one of these that I didn't have a chance. I completely forgot to check whether I'd done them already. See how many we did back in the day. We did loads of these. Jesus Christ. They never did particularly well view-wise, but the sort of follow-up videos always did quite well. But we're going to get into this one next. Mazobu, featuring Oxlade and Kidi off the Boyfriend project from Ckay. We're going to get into this one next then, as we had already done the previous one. My apologies, guys. My apologies. I didn't get a chance to check. But yes, this one, Dominic Andrews' suggestion. Dominic, you always have some cool, interesting facts about the tracks that you suggest. So let me know if you have any interesting facts about this one. I'm a big Ckay fan. Oxlade, for me, has had an incredible year. And I think Kidi is an artist that is so eternally slept on the sort of wider global scale. I think Kidi makes absolute bangers a lot of the time. So yeah, excited to see how this one sounds. Let's get into it.
I think I drank too much. I'm texting my ex cause I drank too much. Yeah, my hand look correct cause I drank too much. I'm doing crazy things cause I drank too much. Expressing my feelings and shit. Expressing my
immediately off the back of this one. First of all, I love this artwork. I love the color grading on it. I love the fact you've got that kind of purpley pinkish feel just running through the entire thing. Ckay is very, very good at kind of merging the sort of visual side of things with again, with sort of other bits of the tune and kind of giving it this overall synesthetic kind of overload. So when you then kind of take into account the other bits as well, such as obviously those initial vocals, the very kind of slower paced sort of arrangement style on this one, and then of course you've obviously got those really nice kind of wooden style sort of drum elements in there as well. This is a really cool way to intro a tune. The combination of vocal elements on this is spectacular. That sort of higher ranged vocal just gives the whole thing this angelic kind of texture, which works really, really nicely. I'm loving the fact that this one is slightly slower paced. purely because it just has this naturally kind of drippier, I don't know, it just feels like there's more room to maneuver for the vocalists, and they're doing a fantastic job of kind of keeping that alive. Again, I love what Ckk's done over the years. I love the fact that he's been so innovative and has actually found a lot of success through the sort of non-innovative side of things, but has continued to push innovation with everything else that he's doing. IK Fuego saying Ck's Boyfriend album better than the CK Sad Romance album. Everything I've heard of Boyfriend I'd agree with, to be honest with you. I think CK's not necessarily an underrated artist, because he can't be. He's got one of the biggest tunes he's got, I think, the most streamed tune to ever come out of Africa in Love Done TT, so he can't be an underrated artist, but I think his artistry is underrated, if that makes sense. I think the fact that he has gone through this fantastic transition is so cool to see. Faith also saying, love the intro. The intro was very smooth.
You make me love your voice, be like melody. I feel your body on my soul. You ain't that CK is me, and you know.
The use of those 808s being interwoven throughout the rest of the tune as well is really cool to hear. The fact that they are so kind of potent, and just kind of very kind of blocky as well. A lot of kind of bounce and vim in the low end coming from those 808 bass stabs. This is a really cool tune, man. Again, CK's just had a very consistent history of doing this, just utilizing sort of unique, almost percussive elements and giving them this extra level of kind of punchy texture. Really, really cool. I've really enjoyed this one. We'll give it another 30 seconds. Guys, if you're still locked in, make sure you're giving us a rating on this one.
You say it's better this way. Oh, how did I become your enemy?
Well, there we go.
Maybe I just need some clarity.
We will round this one off here then. Mazobu featuring Oxlade and Kidi, produced by Big Fish. Thank you, IK Fuego, for supplying the details as you always do. I love the fact that you just always seem to know something. I find that so enjoyable, especially from a live stream perspective. But we have now actually reached the end of the initial list we were going to do. So I think rather than overstay our welcome and kind of push it on to a point where we're kind of reacting to things that didn't have that initial enthusiasm, I am going to call time there. But what I do want to say is a massive thank you to each and every one of you who has been a part of the channel this year. Honestly, I cannot stress how exciting I find this YouTube journey, and that is almost entirely down, well, not almost, it is entirely down to you guys getting involved in the channel. Honestly, doing these live streams were a big part of that kind of growth in at the beginning of the journey, but now you guys are kind of everything to the channel. I love seeing you pop up in the comments, I love seeing you pop up in the live stream scenarios, and I just love the kind of love the channel gets across different social media platforms. I love the fact that we have a platform which is now seen as kind of valid within the industry. I get so many kind of labels and artists hitting me up basically saying like, look, could you give this a review? Do you want to get an artist on for a discussion? Here's a bit of news you might be interested in kind of doing a Cubcast episode on. And I just love the fact that we're now at a point where I can kind of be fed information and turn it into content for you guys, and you guys seem to enjoy the content. That's the maddest thing about all of this for me, that you guys are genuinely seemingly enjoying a lot of the content we put out there. I put a lot of time and effort, I feel, in the sort of management of this channel, into coming up with ideas and concepts and kind of themes that can be kind of turned into regular series that you guys can be a part of, and more than anything else, it just becomes something that you guys can become part of the family of. And I'd safely say that everyone who joins the live streams, everyone who's ever left a comment on the video, has a special kind of place in my heart, and I cannot stress how happy, how joyous, how privileged I feel that we are able to kind of have this channel at the level it is, the level of growth it is. Obviously, the growth has slowed down a little bit over the period of December, but that's just the music industry. Everything slows down in December. There are certain algorithms in the background that aren't working and things like that. But the fact we are approaching 65,000 subs by the end of the year, when last year I think we were on around 18k, I think it was, by the end of the year. So we'll have gone up like nearly 50k by the end of this year. In a single year, I never thought the channel would hit 10k, let alone 50k. So it's absolutely insane. It took us a year to hit our first 10k. The second year, I can't remember the full exact amounts, but yeah, basically we've gone up nearly 50k in the last 12 months, which is absolutely insane, and it is entirely down to you guys. I need to just stress how kind of grateful I am, how emotional it makes me actually thinking about it. The fact that we can post videos, and I know that you guys are going to be watching. I find it absolutely incredible. I love this as a scenario to kind of find myself in. The fact I can sit in my room and discuss music that I absolutely adore, find out stuff from the comments. That's something I always love as well, being able to look into the comment section and find out additional information that I can then kind of fold into my own mental database and then kind of reuse at a later date. Honestly, if there's ever something about a tune that you feel I should know, let me know in the comment section of a video, because I'll take that information in. As I say, I read every single comment that comes onto this page, every single comment that you guys put on a video, whether it be positive or negative. We do take it all in, and we try to kind of direct the channel basically from what you guys are interested in and what you guys are feeling. So again, if you are watching this video, we did run a poll on the right hand side. I'm keen to see what you guys would be interested in watching for 2023. As I said, we're going to be refining the channel quite a bit. We're not going to be posting sort of 4 or 5 sort of maybe hitters a day. We're going to be trying to post maybe 1 video a day, and making sure the videos we are posting are kind of useful videos. You know, that like we might put a couple of extra shorts out here or there, but I want to make sure the content we are actually posting is content that you guys want to see. So please do let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below of this video, because we're going to split this one off, and we're going to split off the actual live stream. We're probably going to chop all of the videos up off the live stream as well. But yeah, out to all the viewers currently locked in. If you are locked in, do send me a signal. A massive shouts out to each and every one of you that has got involved in the stream today. A massive shouts out to Faith, Ckay Fuego. Ckay is my favourite person, because he is a moderator and he always gives me really cool information. He also said, I always read the credits and I'm a big fan of individuals behind the scenes, producers, engineers, A&Rs, etc. You can tell. I can always tell that, and that's why you always have that really cool information, and it's always useful information as well. Out to Cindy as well, out to everyone else who's been involved in the chat as we've gone on, out to Jason, out to Simeon, out to Dominic Andrews, out to Emmanuel as well, out to Deadly Lord, always a regular in these live streams. It's always good to see you. Out to Young Kid Flex as well, out to Shalimbana, I think that's how you pronounce that, as well. There's so many people in the chat this time around. I need to make sure I'm getting everyone's name in. Out to Odin Kiem as well. I'm just going to go through and literally read everyone's names. Why not? Why not, eh? Why not? We'll end that poll there. Again, it's really annoying because I've lost the first half of the chat. It shows the chat's been busy, but I've lost the first half of the chat. But there we go. Guys, we are going to round off there. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of tonight's stream. It's been great to be here. I've absolutely loved putting this show together, and it's been great to speak to so many of you. Thank you for being a part of Cubcam TV in 2022. We will be streaming a mix towards the end of the year, which will basically be my favourite tracks of the year. That will probably be like an hour long, maybe, might be 45 minutes. I don't know. Depends how many bangers I can find that I think will fit. But we will be doing that as a live stream towards the end of the year as well. So there we go. Thank you for watching, my fabulous friends. It's always a pleasure to speak to so many of you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I wish you all a very, very happy Christmas. I hope you enjoy the holidays. I hope you get to spend time with family and relax and enjoy yourselves. And then we will be going again heavy from the start of next year. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cubcam TV. Stay locked.